Is the play of Broderick Jones really that bad here in 2024? Or are we being a little bit overcritical of what is going on with young Broderick Jones at 23 years old? Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's dive in here on a Wednesday. Thank you for joining us again. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff here as we move through the week. Another big week for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And today we are diving into that play of Broderick Jones and what he has done so far in 2024, what he did last year in 2023, and what perhaps may be the issue with Broderick Jones and why we are painting so bad of an image of Broderick here this season. So let's dive in. Last year, Broderick Jones was basically giving up a sack every 101 reps. That's when Broderick would, give up a sack, which is pretty good. He only had 2 penalties, though, last year. That's a very important statistic, my friends. 2 penalties last year for Broderick Jones. He made his debut in Week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers. However, he made his starting debut last year in Week 5 against the Baltimore Ravens. And then Broderick pretty much played throughout the season after the benching of the person in front of him. So Broderick has had some experience here. So far this year, 8 games this year through the 2024 season. Broderick has had more than 2 penalties, and he has cost the Steelers at least 4 that I can count off the top of my head in terms of touchdowns called back. And that is the real black eye on Broderick Jones, I think, here in 2024. The guy is 6'5", 311 pounds, highly athletic, highly intelligent in my eyes. He knows what's going on. I feel like he's a really solid run blocker, and he's getting into trouble with the penalties on the pass protection. I think that that's where he's getting into trouble, and we need to look at the overall broad picture of what is going on. Every snap isn't his fault in terms of, a sack he may give up or something like that, because you got to take in the variables also. What kind of play was called? Where was Russell Wilson or Justin Fields moving to in that play? How long did the quarterback hold that ball? Were there checkdowns available to be able to be hit? Did the quarterback get through his progressions correctly? So there are some other variables at play. How's the run game being established inside of that particular football game? Is the defense being able to pin its ears back, load the box, and really come with significant numbers at the Steelers because the pass game isn't working very well? How is the action game working? There's a lot of things that come into really getting an overall broad picture of what kind of a player Broderick Jones has been and will be here moving forward in 2024. But I think the major issue with Broderick Jones here this season is simply one thing, and simply one thing only, guys, and that is the penalties. Broderick Jones and these penalties is creating an image of himself, or an image that we are putting on him, that he is horrible and that he is bad and that he has not done anything well here in 2024 and that he is a major liability. And I think that to be false. I think we're being a little bit over the top on what Broderick Jones can do. His ceiling is very high, and this is year 2, my friends. We talked a lot about Dan Moore Jr. and his struggles throughout his NFL career so far, but it took several seasons for Dan Moore to be a serviceable tackle in the NFL, and I believe Broderick still needs some time to develop. He's, again, only 23 years old, out of Georgia, a guy that didn't have a ton of snaps in college and is really learning on the fly here in Pittsburgh. And yes, he was drafted 14th overall, and I want to caution you guys not to be over the top with him, because I think he was worth the high value draft capital that the Steelers spent and traded up to get Broderick Jones in that draft to get him number 14 overall. The Steelers moved from 17 to 14 to take Broderick ahead of the Jets, which was a good move, trading with the Patriots. The Patriots really stiffed it to the Jets because the Jets were about to select Broderick Jones in that spot at 15, perhaps. Yes, 15, I believe. So Broderick was about to be taken. However, the Steelers knew that, and he jumped up and grabbed him. And I think he is going to be proved to be worth every single cent, every single piece of draft capital that was spent to get him, guys. And again, Broderick has one major blemish this year. And it's not his run blocking. And it's, yes, at times he has had his moments in the past game where he hasn't been spectacular, but it's those penalties. He only had 2 penalties last season. 2 penalties in his time playing for the Steelers as a starter last year, and his time in general through the whole year. And he has way more than that here in 2024. And that is what is going on here, guys. In pass protection, he isn't bad. He isn't horrible. You could take the one against the Giants on Monday night where Russell Wilson stepped up into the pocket after Broderick Jones got slightly beat. But yet Broderick was still taking that guy out to the back of the end zone like you want to. You want to continue to make that defender take that wide angle. If you get beat, you want to continually try to intercept that guy to where you're pushing him back further and further and further. You may not get great hands on him and get tremendous push on that defender, but you're getting in his way and causing him to continue to slide back, allowing the quarterback the time to step up into the pocket and to make a decision. There was one particular play against the Giants in which that happened, and Broderick was doing exactly what he needed to do, and he didn't get horribly beat there, and was able to still pretty much overcome it. Russell Wilson had a check down in the flats, already had a couple seconds to get rid of the football, and he wasn't able to. And that was the play in which Russell decided to take off and start running, and he fumbled the football there. But that was just one of those plays that, again, you got to look at every variable on the football field in order to really get a good picture of what Broderick Jones is doing. And guys, I myself, you all, too, pretty much everybody, and me included, and I have been really tough on Broderick Jones this season and really have put the hammer down on his play. And I got to say, I think I've been a little bit over the top. I think we all have as Steelers Nation, because we expect a high-value draft pick to be really, really good and to play really, really well here. And that's okay. I think we should have those expectations. But I think if I look at Jones's overall body of work, the one thing that continues to stick out to me is just those penalties. And if he could clean those up, I think we are writing a far different story about Broderick Jones, simply just off of him cleaning up those penalties. Because honestly, guys, in the run game, he's not playing bad. I like his athleticism, getting to that first level, taking that initial block on, but yet being able to shed that and using his athletic ability to get up there and get downfield and continue blocking. I like to see that, and I have seen that from Broderick here this season in 2024. And his pass protection, I don't think his footwork or his handwork is that bad. I just literally think that he panics whenever he gets beat slightly. Instead of taking that defender and just continue trying to ride them out to the back of the end zone and just causing disruption for that defender and not giving them that angle to get to the quarterback, sometimes he'll pull a face mask, he'll do things that he shouldn't. Instead of panicking, continue to shuffle your feet, continue to push that defender back. And I think if the Pittsburgh Steelers can fix that with Broderick Jones, not get that panic out of him whenever those plays happen, I think you're going to see a completely different ball player really, really quick. And again, I think his ceiling is so high. And I know a lot of you think he's playing out of position, in which he might be. And he is. According to what he played in college and what he did, he is playing out of position. He's probably a natural left tackle. But right now, he is the right tackle. And the Steelers have zero depth. And he has to be there, and he has to get the job done. And again, I think if he fixes that one damn thing, the penalties, and I think if he fixes one damn thing, and that is not to panic. That is what's causing the penalties. Broderick is panicking, and that is only when he gets beat. He's not out there. I'm not saying he's frightened to play and he's panicking and it's overwhelming. No, it isn't. He just knows that the Steelers lack depth, and his performance as a number 14 overall draft pick is going to be analyzed, and people are going to be super hypercritical of him, and that is a lot of pressure. And I think that at times causes him to panic, causes him to really just not be able to get it done. And I think that that's exactly what Broderick Jones has to fix here in 2024. All right, guys. Well, We'll be back with the live show. We're going to talk about the Steelers injury report. We're going to talk about everything else going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight in terms of maybe possible trade options. We're going to get all that and dive through that here this evening on Steel City Live. So make sure you join us. But I wanted to bring that up about Broderick Jones, and I wanted to caution Steeler fans not to panic because I think things are going to be okay with your boy Broderick here once he fixes and cleans up a couple things, and hopefully that's done here on the bye week. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. And until tonight, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace, my friends.